was a close one. You almost caught me. I played it off so good and you didn't even notice. Oh my goodness. Okay, but now it is currently 1:30 a.m. You fell asleep, but I had too much coffee at work because I was too sleepy and I had coffee at like 7 or 8 p.m. So now I can't sleep and you are sleeping in bed. Let's actually go find you sleeping. Let's go find you sleeping. It's gonna be really funny when you actually see this yourself because you would have thought that something was up, but really, there was something up. And I know, let's see if I can find you in bed. Good night, sleepy darling. But now, we shall continue from where we left off in secret. Oh, I don't have the background music. Oh, God. Oh gosh. Okay, maybe I'll put you right here so that I can possibly, maybe, hear you coming if you do end up coming over in the night. In the night, I hear him talk. But where were we? So these two dwarven parents, they had a child, and even though Dugan's Hole was this place that was supposed to have accepted the most outsider of outsiders, even this child was rejected. The spawn of the devil, they called him. And so, in this place, dark and cold, Borgar Madforge, born to blacksmiths, but his arms too frail to wield a hammer, his face too ugly to look upon even by Dugan Hole standards. Borgar was born and rejected by his own family here in Dugan's Hole. And year after year, as he grew older and older and had learned more and more about himself and the place that he came from, and the fact that he was a freak of nature that he was not supposed to have been, he grew accepting of his rejection and chose to live his life in solitude, opting to create his own little home away from the mad forges that had rejected him. And in this home he had built himself a small 2-story shack beyond the outskirts of the city, leaning up against a lone leafless tree, looking out upon the endless expanse of snow and ice. It was there where he found himself day in and day out, rejected always by others, only finding solace in the few books that he was able to find from those who could not read them, books that had been discarded. Intelligence was not one of the more common traits within Dugan's Hole. And so within these books he found his solace, and his greatest comfort through all of them was this book of astrology. Astrology in the stars. Day in and day out, in the endless expanse of white, he would look up at that dark blue and black sky and find that those stars would keep him company for the next 80 years of his life. For 80 years, he had spoken to the stars as if they were his friend, as if they were the only ones that would listen to him wholeheartedly, realistically, because they were the only ones that would listen to him. Everywhere else he went, he had found rejection. But in the stars, they were always listening. They were always accepting. They had never questioned him. They had never insulted him. They'd never not felt like a home. And so for 80 years he had spoken to the stars until one day, the stars spoke back. And the stars spoke back to him, and he heard them speak. I have heard you all these years, and I will keep on hearing you until you finish speaking. And when he had heard this, he was elated. He poured himself into the stars. He learned all of the star maps and the constellation cycles, and he became engrossed in the stars, learning to, through his own projection in his feelings toward the stars, he was able to manifest their power as a druid of the stars. Through his connection and feelings towards the sky, he became empowered by them. Until over multiple weeks and evenings, clouds, unnaturally dark clouds, began rolling in like an endless fog upon the sky, building and building and building until they had blotted out even the moon itself. An endless expanse of night had fallen upon the Icewind Dale. This rime, this darkness, this fog was said to be the fault of the Frost Maiden, Auril, the maiden who claims the Icewind Dale as her land. The reason why she had cast this darkness upon the lands was unknown, but Borgar, having lost his only connection to his friend in the stars, he waited and he had waited and waited until it would stop, and that time never came, because on the third year of darkness, Borgar had set out to try and figure out why this rime of the Frost Maiden had descended upon the Icewind Dale. And he was not setting out to be a hero, and he was not setting out to save the Icewind Dale. No, he was on a journey to find his friend. He was on his journey to possibly to clear the Icewind Dale, but more so to be able to speak to the stars again and to be able to hear them once again. And that is where Borgar's journey had began. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. This would have been cooler if it was one continuous backstory session. How dare you come home early and ruin my plans. Oh, but now there's no background music. So maybe you can just play something in the back. Wow, lighting is a lot better here. Maybe you can just play something in the back while this plays. But that is where our story begins. Dun dun dun. But yeah, physically, appearance-wise, Borgar is a dark dwarf. So he stands about 5'2". He's got dark gray greens, not green. He's got dark gray skin, uneven complexion, splotchy. He's got hair that is growing raggedly in patches, you know. He's got a triple chin. Both of his eyes are crossed. His nose is crooked. He talks with a lisp like this because his tongue isn't fully formed in his mouth. He has his limbs. His left arm is longer than his right, and his right leg is longer than his left. So he walks with a limp, and he walks jagged and crooked, and he relies upon this staff that he has decorated with engravings of constellations upon them, and he uses that to walk. And he is dressed in green and yellow and gray robes and winter gear, covering his face often with a large hood that he only will unveil when he feels truly comfortable, because he has lived most of his life in rejection of his physical appearance, and he's the GOAT. That's Borgar. Borgar Madsford. He talks like this. He's also not very smart. He is on a journey to find his friend, right? So he, at first, is going to start off with a little bit of intention, not so much to find connection through other people, but more so to use people as tools to get to his final goal. But what he is going to be able to find in the future is that on his way to find his friend, he found some new friends. Oh, what a guy. Yeah. Oh, pardon me. Rewind. Rewind. In his backstory, when he was speaking to the stars, he was able to recognize that his friend that spoke back to him and recognized him and saw him, he, through his research and through his books, he was able to find that the deity within the stars was named Celestian, and he believed that Celestian was reaching out to him directly, and so he is going to regard Celestian as his friend, and he was looking for, by name, Celestian, because he believes that that is his friend that he was speaking with within the stars. And that's Borgar. That's Borgar. I hope to see you next time in the next video. I forgot to put the freaking intro. Rewind. Intro time. What's up? We're gonna try not to forget this next time. Intro. This is a project to help with body doubling, so that I can be there when I'm not there, and you can see me when maybe we're feeling a little bit alone, and maybe a little bit lacking of physical presence. Couple rules for this series. 1, this is going to be a secret until it is revealed. Number 2, no editing, no rewatch, no cuts, nothing. Pure, straight uploads, and that's it. There was a third one. I'm going to keep thinking back on the third one. I pretty sure there was a third one. That's all I got. That's all I got. We're gonna keep on thinking of a name for this series. I don't want to call it the name of the campaign because that's lame. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe I'm gonna also start doing this while doing cooking, while driving, while doing all sorts of other stuff. But this is gonna try to be a work in progress that I'm gonna fit in wherever I can, because I'm gonna try and deliver you some sort of deliverable of a substantial length of playlist eventually. But hopefully, if I do end up leaving this summer for some sort of work project, such as it was intended for fire, but fire or tree planting or forest ranger or arborist or whatever that may be, I'm hoping that this can not be a replacement but a supplement, so that you can still see this beautiful face and hear this dazzling voice. Awesome. Okay, intro, outro. Brr.